So we have been getting a ton of MCU Spider-Man 4 villain news for a while now. Again, for those of you who haven't been following the news on this channel, the main report for a while has been that this MCU Spider-Man 4 movie will be a grounded movie where essentially Kingpin will become the new mayor of New York, and as the movie's, I guess, kind of main villain, and his main task as mayor is actually going to be to make vigilanteism illegal, meaning that Spider-Man and Daredevil and my glorious woman, Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop, are all going to be, of course, what they do is illegal, and are going to be pretty much now on the hunt by Kingpin because of what they do. Again, as we know, it's being said that Kingpin is actually going to hire, again, villains and mercenaries and all this type of stuff to, of course, hunt down Spider-Man, to hunt down Daredevil, and to hunt down all these other, like, street-level superheroes. Now, one of the people and villains we've heard that he's going to hire is, of course, actually Black Cat, who, again, will be a main character for this story, I'd assume. The main love interest as well. I covered that in another video if you guys would like to go learn more on that. We've heard a lot of rumors here and there that, of course, Scorpion would be getting hired, as well as potentially Vulture, Michael Keaton's Vulture, which, again, that rumor has been covered by less, I think, actual reliable sources. I do not think Vulture will be getting hired in this just because, again, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be like in Sony's universe now. I don't even think fucking Sony know what the hell they're doing with that character now. But I obviously think Black Cat will be an essential, and I think Scorpion will be an essential as well. But according to this new report that has recently just come out, it is actually saying that not only Scorpion will be one of the villains hired by Kingpin, but actually Shocker from Marvel Spider-Man Homecoming. Being said that Shocker and Scorpion will be returning in Spider-Man 4 and will be working for Kingpin, being reported by Holyfield M5. Again, this has had a couple reports on it now as well. Another account posting here saying that Shocker and Scorpion will be returning in Spider-Man 4 and will be working for Kingpin. Again, this is, of course, gone under a lot of the same reports that we've been knowing for a while now, that obviously Scorpion will be in this movie. Again, we saw that Scorpion was in Spider-Man Homecoming. He was on the boat where he was doing the deal with Vulture, and then at the end of the movie, he, of course, confronted Michael Keaton's Adrian Toomes Vulture in the jail, asking if he knew who Spider-Man was, because obviously he was put there because of him. Again, it only makes sense as well for another villain like Shocker to be added into this story. Again, I really thought the Shocker we received in, obviously, Spider-Man Homecoming was pretty average, and it was just a very average side villain that didn't really have any relevancy to the plot at all, other than being, a side character, a side villain. But Shocker has always been known to be like a bigger villain, so I thought it was semi-weird that he was kind of reduced to that role. I have a feeling for this Spider-Man 4 movie as well that he will be in a very similar vein, where he definitely won't be the main focus. I believe, obviously, Scorpion and Black Cat will very much be the main focus as the two villains that Kingpin hires. I think that makes a ton of sense. And obviously, Black Cat's more of an anti-hero. She's a love interest. She's going to have a different, complex story rather than just being a villain who loves to do mean shit, which is, I guess, what Scorpion wants to do. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe don't see a whole lot of the Shocker. Again, I think it would be cool if eventually he did get his suit as well, a similar suit to what we saw in Marvel Spider-Man, not necessarily like the bird-looking helmet that he for some reason has, maybe something a little bit different. I'm not exactly too sure, but wouldn't it be cool as well if, I know this is a really strange idea for me, but has anyone who's watching this video ever seen TMNT, the 2007 Ninja Turtles movie? Arguably, I believe, the best Ninja Turtles movie. It's probably the best in my opinion. Again, it was like a more adult, more mature take on the Ninja Turtles franchise, but essentially where I'm getting with in this animated movie is that these like group of past beings were actually working for a guy, and they were going around and hunting down aliens and putting them in these pods, right? Again, it explains more in the movie. I highly recommend you guys go and check it out. But wouldn't it be cool as if maybe we got like a couple of scenes throughout this movie of Kingpin's team like hunting down these superheroes? Like, yes, obviously they will most likely just work by themselves, but wouldn't it be awesome is if as a scene we maybe got like Kate Bishop and she runs into like another character here and there, like maybe Luke Cage or something like that, right? And they're like cornered, and obviously we see the Shocker, we see Scorpion, we see maybe a couple other characters who knows that Kingpin may be hiring and that Marvel might put in this movie. We see those guys all fighting these street level superheroes, and maybe eventually catch them and, I don't know, imprison them, like maybe in this universe's version of the Raft or something like that. Again, we've seen the Raft in the Spider-Man games as a holding facility for obviously villains, right? Spider-Man villains. Wouldn't it be cool though as if in this obviously universe, because we know Kingpin, he doesn't consider the Shocker a villain, he doesn't consider Scorpion a villain, and if he does consider them villains, he considers them villains of personal use. He considers them at this rate bounty hunters, right? Wouldn't it be cool if maybe we got to see like Kate Bishop and other characters locked up in a facility? Again, I think that would be a really awesome idea. So there's definitely a ton of different characters that they can use in this. Obviously, having Kingpin hire Scorpion, Shocker, and Black Cat makes a ton of sense. Black Cat will be a little bit different to the other two. She'll obviously have a much more complex story which revolves around a love interest with Spider-Man. But I just don't know if how many other characters are they going to introduce without this being super crammed. The beauty of introducing Scorpion and introducing Shocker is that these guys already exist in the MCU, and you're going to have at least a ton of Spider-Man fans who are definitely going to remember Shocker from the first movie. A lot of people, I think at least 90%, probably won't recognize Scorpion unless they go watch a fucking Looper video or some shit on YouTube, or one of my ones, of course. Again, definitely the average fan will not remember him probably from the first movie. But then there's still obviously context there, and it still makes sense. I think if they were to go around introducing other characters that we haven't yet seen so far, could be a mistake, as well as they have. Again, they've had no character building, they haven't been introduced, anything like that. And as we know, most good characters in Superman movies, if they're going to be used in a sequel or something like that, they definitely need enough time to develop and enough time to grow on people as a character. Again, the fact that the other guys are being introduced already, it makes a ton of sense. It's another reason why I feel like if Vulture was to get used, it would also make sense too, considering we do know, again, the Vulture's literally had his own movie of being the villain. So fans are definitely well versed with him. They can't necessarily just go and introduce some random character like whatever that pink fucking chick's name was from the first Spider-Man game. If they would have introduced someone like her, give her no backstory, nothing like that, fans would be fucking pissed. And it'd be like a situation again of like some of the underutilized villains that were in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, with how Rhino had the couple of scenes and was just put aside, no cool backstory, nothing like that. Green Goblin's Harry as well in that movie was so fucking AIDS right there, and had literally less than a quarter of like probably the screen time that James Franco again got to develop. So you definitely need to give these characters time and all this type of stuff. So it's going to be interesting. I think Shocker and obviously Scorpion definitely have had enough time to obviously be introduced. They might get some semi backstory, but the way that they're going to be used in the film, I don't necessarily know if it's going to need to require it a whole lot, especially if they were to use a guy like Vulture again. A character like Black Cat, though, who hasn't been introduced, has never been seen before on screen or anything like that, is definitely going to need a big backstory and like a lot of scenes just for people to again, the average fan to learn about her and learn who Felicia Hardy is. And I think that's exactly what Marvel are going to do. And they're going to give her a really cool story, especially with Tom Holland's Spider-Man and her being the new love interest. There's a lot of really interesting things going on here. I really recommend you guys go and check out some of the other videos I've made too that I talked about. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and comment your thoughts and opinions on who do you guys want to be introduced in this movie and whatnot. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.